I want to talk about my trading results from today. Today is indeed one of the biggest gains in my trading career so far. As you can see in the video title, up $2,600, 2,600. Definitely a big day. I'm going to talk about the key trades that helped define a day such as today. Um, Actually, let's get started. I started out the day with actually a losing trade on this LI. It's a Chinese electric vehicle company. The stock gapped up from previous day about 10%. So it's a right candidate for what you call a gap and go trade, meaning the stock would start down actually after having a gap up. Again, gap up means the previous day's close, as you can see, was at 37, 38, and today it opened at 42. So you would want the stock to go down a bit so that you can enter. All right. So the stock went down in the first minute candle, and then I entered as soon as it passes 40, about 41 or 42 here. And however, I was actually tricked by this. I did not take a partial. It moved up too quickly. I was actually distracted a little bit, so it failed to move much higher, and then it came all the way down back to the beginning of the day. At which point I exited this trade. So I ended up losing this trade $430. The first trade of the day in LI. However, I got some really nice gains with other stocks. Let's look at the chart of NIO. This is another Chinese EV, electric vehicle company. However, this moved very much differently from LI. So actually for this stock, I took multiple entries, but from looking at this, you can see there are multiple very nice entries to the stock. One could be right here at about 1030. You can see that the previous resistance was at about 5180. It came back supported by the VWAP, so you can enter as soon as the stock comes back and retest that point, which is here where my pointer is hovering over. You could have a relatively small stop loss to the VWAP. So at that point, the entry was 5180. The VWAP was at 51, about 5120. You can give it some room. So a 60 cents trade. I risk, my entry was 300 shares on this trade. I risked $180 and we managed the trade pretty well. I actually let it come back and just kept adding on to the trade as it breaks new high. And you can see every move back is being bought. So every move down is being bought by the market. And so it just moves up and up. Actually broke its all-time high at the 55 level here and continues to do an amazing job on NIO. So I think my total profit of NIO for today is about $900. I still got 120 positions opened. Another stock that helped to define the day is XPEV. XPEV is another Chinese electric vehicle company, XPeng Motors. As you can see, it also moves up a lot during the day. I think today ended up 33.9%, close to 34%. And then after hours, the stock trading up 3%, so all-time high. Looking at this, also multiple entries to this stock. This one right here is a classic perfect entry. It's called a cup and handle. I can draw it. So you can see kind of a cup here, right? And then here's a handle. All right, here. So yeah. You have a cup and then a handle. Basically, your entry would be past that previous high. So the previous high was at 61.50 at around 10 o'clock. Soon as the cup formation completes, here's the handle. Soon as it passes 61.40, you can enter, and it delivers for you pretty well. And you're going to use stop loss as a VWAP. For a day like today, when the stock is so strong, every move back is being bought, and you can see multiple cups and handles being formed. This is a very, very nice formation for the stock. It had a break for the lunch session. Lunch sessions usually are times when more often than not more sellers than buyers. So usually stocks that move up during the day move down during the lunch session. But after the lunch session, about 3 o'clock, if you look in the big picture, hopefully you can see that here's a cup, right? And you have the handle here. This is a handle, so you got a U-shaped cup. In this case, I'm drawing it as a V, but you have that U-shaped cup. What does that indicate? The cup and handle indicates that the stock makes a high. There's some selling pressure, but to some point that selling pressure stops, and then buyers start to come in. When buyers start to come in, push the stock to that previous high. It meets some resistance. Sellers are participating. However, the buyers are stronger. So your buying point would be past the previous high or past the resistance. This case above 67.50. And if you look at that entry, how perfect that was, it moved up, I don't know, 3 points, 4 points. This entry here, 67.50, had a $1 stop loss. So whatever, if you entered 100 shares, you would be willing to risk $100. But look at what it could give you. It gave you, you could probably exit here after this huge red candle. That's already 3 points. So you got a 1 to 3 trade. That's a trade that all traders would dream of. So yeah, that is NIO and XPEV. I think in XPEV I made around $1,000. Also made money on BABA. I'm sorry, BA, the Boeing company, as well as BYND, the Beyond Meat. But those are not as exciting as the XPEV and NIO stocks. It's rare that you got a day like today. So when you take a look at the daily chart on XPEV, right, it's weird because this is abnormal. You see, stock has been up huge for the previous 3 days. If I turn you back a week ago, which makes it the 15, all right, no, the 16. Give you back a week ago at 16, the stock was at $40. And as we're speaking right now, it's at $73, almost double in a week. That never happens, almost never. If you look at NVIDIA, which is a huge technology stock, look at what it does for the past week. It doesn't move. It doesn't want to move. So it's very rare that you get a day like today. What you have to do is be careful not to stick in too long. Everything that moves up fast has to come down fast. I want to share with you this JKS stock. Look at what it does. Basically, since the beginning of, I guess, let's say mid-September. So on 14th of September, it was at $20 for a whole month. Moved up to $90, topped. So from $20 to $90, I don't know how many percent that is, an increase. But it moved from $90 to $60 in a day. All right, so this is how crazy stocks like these can move in this kind of market. But this is how you can make money with the right trades, with the right entry, with the right stop loss. So that's what we're aiming for. Okay, thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed.